them to kindly take their places on the dais. Now, I request Professor Ramesh Chandra Gaud to kindly felicitate our guests. First, our guest of honor, Dr. B.R. Mani. Our distinguished speaker, Professor K.K. Thaplial. Dr. Sanjay Kumar Manjul. The author, Dr. Sanjeev Kumar. And our esteemed speaker, Dr. Prashant Kulkarni. Thank you, sir, for doing the honors. I now invite Professor Ramesh Chandra Gaud, Dean Administration and Head of the Kalanidhi Division at IGNCA, to deliver the welcome address and introduction.
Namaskar, good evening. On behalf of Indira Gandhi National Center for the Arts, I extend a very hearty welcome to all of you in this today's program, book launch and discussion on the book Treasures of the Gupta Empire, written by Dr. Sanjeev Kumar and published by Pragati Offset Press. It is indeed an honor to extend a hearty welcome to the eminent guests and speakers who are going to do the honor of launching the book and book discussion. But prior to that, many of you may have come first time to IGNCA. So a few words of introduction about IGNCA. Indira Gandhi National Center for the Arts, it's an autonomous trust of Ministry of Culture, Government of India, founded in 1987. We have been continuously working on preservation, promotion, and dissemination of all forms of Indian arts in various programs through preserving the manuscript, digitizing it, and translating into Indian languages. We have a lot of academic programs. We work on various kind of cultural traditions, issues related to tribal culture, and many more. This program, which is being organized under the program IGNCA Book Circle, we almost every fortnight we organize such book launch and discussions. Basic aim is that a author do a lot of hard work in putting thoughts into on a piece of paper. Now it's very, very important that it should reach out to the audiences. So this program, which is being organized here, which will be later, this will be put on YouTube and being circulated the various social media platform to reaching millions of people, followers of IGNCA. So first, at the outset, I must thanks and congratulate author of the book, Dr. Sanjeev Kumar, for this wonderful work. And welcome to you, Dr. Sanjeev Kumar. And thank you for your consent to being hosting this particular event at IGNCA. In today's program, we have very eminent speakers. First in the list is our guest of honors, Dr. B.R. Mani. Beside an eminent scholar, he is currently holding a very important position of Director General of National Museum of India. So welcome, Professor Mani, and thank you for your kind, gracious presence. We have with us very eminent scholar on the subject, Professor K.K. Thapalyal, who is a Professor Emeritus in Lucknow University, and I think who may not be knowing him in this field because his contributions have been recognized even by Government of India by honoring with Padam Shri Award. Welcome, Professor Thapalyal, and thank you very much for your kind presence and gracious. We have with Dr. Sanjay Kumar Manjul, who is Additional Director General in Archaeological Survey of India. When we talks about coins and coinages of India, who can be the better than ASI, who is the custodian of all such excavation and work. So welcome, Dr. Manjul, for this gracious presence. We have with us Dr. Prashant Kulkarni, Chairman, Indian Coin Society, and Honorary Fellow of Oriental Numismatic Society of London. Welcome, Dr. Kulkarni. Thank you very much. Many of you are sitting in the audience, eminent scholars, and the people, friends and families of Dr. Sanjeev Kumar. I extend a very hearty welcome to all of you in today's programs. We all know that when we are going to launch this book, definitely eminent speakers will definitely talk about the work and also on the subject. At IGNCA, we have Cultural Archive. We have archival collection, more than 45 personal collection of eminent art historian. We have some collection from some art collectors also, like Lansdane collection is there. Similarly, we have A.K. Kumaraswamy's collection and many, many more. So my request to all of you that if you have not seen the IGNCA in totality, please spare some time, visit our archival resources and libraries. There's a lot to talk on this subject, but I'm not the right person to speak. Definitely have very eminent and very experienced scholar to speak on the subject. I leave that to them. Once again, I extend you a very hearty welcome to you and look forward to wonderful discussion and launch of the book today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Gaur, for that warm welcome and for setting the tone for today's event. Now, I invite the author himself, Dr. Sanjeev Kumar, to introduce his book, Treasures of the Gupta Empire.
Just a miss, Dr. Sachidanand Joshi, Member Secretary IGNCA, who is sharing this program, will join very soon. He is coming from a meeting and will join us very soon.
Hello, everyone. So happy you're all here. This is just amazing to see all these wonderful faces. These are all eminent scholars in each of their own fields. I'm truly humbled. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Ramesh ji, for Professor Gaur for helping us launch this book here. When Joshi ji and Mani ji were in Chicago last year, they asked me to, on the second book, please do it at IGNCA, and I'm so happy that this worked out. Manjalji, thank you for coming. So happy. Prashant ji, thank you. And most of all, I am just thrilled that my hero, Professor Thapalyal, is here. He's, I won't tell his age, but he's older than probably everybody here. He came here with Mrs. Thapalyal just for this. And he came a few days early so he could be here with his son and daughter-in-law. And he came, when I told him the book was getting launched in Delhi, he insisted that he will be there, no questions about it. Thank you, Joshi ji. I'm so happy that you are given us this opportunity to launch this book here. Thank you. And now, thank you to all my friends and family, eminent scholars that have taken the time out of your busy lives to come and join us. My speech has changed. You know, I can't thank everyone in this room, but this book is a work of passion. But apart from a work of passion, this is a book that took decades to research and years to write the manuscript. It could not have been done without my beautiful wife, Dawn. Dawn, she made sure that I was fed and I was able to continue working, and I was fed and I was able to continue working. And it's only because of her that I have been able to write this book for India. So please, Dawn, my wife. So, this book is about our history and the history of a major dynasty in India during a crucial period in the 4th, 5th, and 6th centuries AD. A history as rich and even more amazing than the Roman and Greek art. I was drawn to these coins simply because of the artistic features of these coins. I did not understand how to read Brahmi 40 years back. I didn't understand what these figures meant, but I thought, when I was growing up in India, I did not see these pictures in my book. This is amazing. I didn't even know we had this. So, this is what led me to these coins. Why is this book important? The book, Treasures of Gupta Empire, this is the second book in the series. Why is this book important? Because the research, 40 decades of research, 4 decades of research, 40 years, this book changes India's history as it's been written today. Even today, the information in there forces our history books to be rewritten because there is so many inaccuracies about the greatest Hindu dynasty of that time, and we don't have so many facts that are in this book that should be part of our regular history books. This age of the Gupta age is romanticized and called the Golden Age, right? It was the Golden Age because there were amazing discoveries in science, mathematics, philosophy, astronomy, and science, and they were all taking place around that time. Today, with my research, I'm unlocking additional mysteries that have stayed hidden over 1,600 years away. Now, we have a short movie, and could you roll the movie, please?
Imagine a time when India stood as the world's beacon of knowledge, prosperity, and culture. A time known as the Golden Age of India, Bharat Ka Swarna Yug. This was the era of the Gupta Empire, a civilization that shaped the very foundation of Indian history, art, and thought. As we step into the streets of Patliputra, the hearts of the Gupta Empire, we are surrounded by the hum of intellectual debates, the creation of breathtaking art, and the exchange of golden coins. Great writers like Kalidasa, astrologer and mathematician Aryabhatta, and Varaha Mihira left their marks on literature, astronomy, and mathematics. The empire's patronage of learning gave birth to groundbreaking discoveries in medicine like Charak Sanhita and Sushruta Sanhita, which remain influential to this day. The revered University of Nalanda stood as a testament to the empire's commitment to knowledge, attracting seekers of truth from across the known world. Gupta artistry weaves a tapestry of divine beauty as skilled craftsmen bring the gods to life in stone and color. Every curve and line tells a story of devotion, passion, and creativity. But perhaps the most enduring legacy of the Gupta era lies in its coinage. Each coin is a snapshot of history, with clues hidden within the design and ancient Brahmi script. And behind the artistic scenes we find the Game of Thrones of India, telling the story of greatest Gupta kings who ruled with wisdom, strength and devotion. The mighty Samudragupta, who expanded the empire from sea to sea and is called the Napoleon of India. Chandragupta II, also known as Vikramaditya, and Kumar Gupta, who gave stability and patronized scholars. Under the patronage of these powerful and devout kings, Hinduism found its foothold and came of age. The highly acclaimed book, Treasures of the Gupta Empire, takes you on a journey to understand the history of that era that shaped India and eventually set the stage for Bharat to become the Vishwaguru to the ancient world.
All right, did you guys like that? Thanks to my team for making that. Well, this time during the Gupta age, this was a pivotal time in ancient India, when for the first time an effort was made to codify and establish the rules of how to represent the gods and goddesses of the Hindu pantheon, Vishnu, Lakshmi, Shiva. Yes, while the Vedic scriptures established the concepts, the question the craftsmen faced was how to visually show these deities to the masses in a consistent manner. Prior to the Gupta age, this was a problem. Lakshmi was shown also sometimes standing, rarely sitting, but if she was sitting, she was shown on a throne. How was the body of Lakshmi to be depicted? Was she supposed to be holding something in her hand? It was during this Gupta age when all the iconography started to get codified. The Shilpa Shastras were written down and established. This did not happen overnight. It took almost 40 to 50 years from the start of Samudragupta's Samudragupta the First's reign to the start of the reign of the next king, the second son, Chandragupta II. It was Samudragupta who, as is written in his Prashishti, the Allahabad pillar inscription, established what he referred to as the long forgotten Vedic traditions. All of our history books list this. But what does it really mean? Where is the proof? How do we confirm what that line in the inscription actually means? This is where my research comes in. In this book, I was able to document for the very first time that the iconography of goddess Lakshmi was codified during the early part of the Gupta dynasty. And it is fascinating to see that as it slowly is seen evolving on the gold coins of Samudragupta I around 340 AD. When studying his gold coins, which were issued early in his reign, I noticed that the goddess was not shown as Lakshmi. She was sometimes shown seated on a throne, because they had adapted the concept of this design of the goddess from the Kushana goddess Ardaksho. It was during the mid part of his reign that we start seeing very slowly on a few coin designs where the craftsmen start to add a few lotus petals under her feet, right? and then more and more, and eventually she's shown seated on a full lotus with petals holding a lotus flower. So this all happened during the early part of Samudragupta's reign. Scholars have been studying the Gupta coins for over 150 years, but I was able to finally show this evolution of Lakshmi and bring it to the forefront. Then I wondered, what else could we find if instead of looking at each coin individually, I tried to look for patterns? And suddenly a new world of hidden messages and meanings opened up. This was very exciting. The coin on the cover of the book is the Tiger Slayer type, right? So this Tiger Slayer type coin, in this coin, it is the first coins issued by Samudragupta when he was just a Raja. But in this coin, it does not say Maharaja Dhiraja, it just says Raja Samudragupta. And in the back of this coin, well, the image is in the front there, but in the gallery, but you'll see in the back of this coin, we actually don't have a goddess Lakshmi seated. We actually see goddess Ganga standing on a makar, which then confirms to us that this was issued during the time when he was first starting to conquer the Gangatic plain and expand his empire. While that was 1700 years back, where we saw this coin which shows Samudragupta shooting a tiger, and the back it says Vyagra Prakrama, valiant as a tiger, the brave warrior who's victorious over his enemies. Today, I would like to just stop for a minute and recognize somebody that's here in the audience. Ravi, where are you? Could you please stand up? Ravi's back there. This is Major General Ravinder Singh, a Kargil war hero, awarded the Sena Medal. Let's please honor him. He captured the Tiger Hill back. He was shot many times and awarded for his gallantry the Sena Medal. Major General Ravinder Singh, my classmate from 7th class. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Valiant as a tiger. It is in our history, right? As researchers and scholars, we tend to get bogged down in minute details. I did so too for a long time, till I was able to understand that in order to solve the mystery of ancient India, context was important. A macro view of the entire landscape also was important. And digging deeper, one had to look for clues hidden in the subtle messages and Brahmi inscriptions to try to find patterns within the data. A major part of these coins come from different museums from around the world, as well as private collections. Now, these museums are not always eager to open up the collections. So it takes many, many visits, many years of pleading with directors of the museums and private collectors to get these coins opened up, to be photographed, to be weighed, to be measured. So this is a long process. It took decades of dedicated work to get this data together. Studying these coins, it was very clear that the Gupta kings were actually telling a story. Hidden messages, propaganda, celebrating marriage alliances, patronage of arts, conquests, coronations, and even victories in battle. Sometimes you can stare at 100 coins for years and not know what to make of some of these messages. And then just a single new coin shows up, a solitary coin, and it turns out to be the missing jigsaw puzzle piece, and that ties that entire 100 coins together. Scholars in the past century had access to just a small amount of data, but that did not stop them from floating conclusions that today we can just see are just plain wrong. Theories that are now in our history books but must be corrected. Now I'm going to show you a coin. By the way, this is the coin of Samudragupta, Tiger Slayer. On the back, you'll see goddess Ganga standing on a makar, right? And in the back, on the right side, it says Raja, Samudragupta, and Brahmi. Now, this is a coin of a king that historians didn't know where to assign this king. It says Kacha under his arm. And they said, well, this is Kachagupta, but he is not a Gupta king because there is no Garud on it. Garud was the royal emblem of the Gupta kings. In fact, instead of a Garud, he's holding in his hand a Chakradhavaj. It is only in my research that was published for the first time that I was able to show that Kachagupta was actually the name taken by Ramgupta, the eldest son of Samudragupta. And why do we not know about him? Because he only lasted for a year or two. He was assassinated by his younger brother, Chandragupta II. And then, to cover up this shameful act, by the way, this is written in one of the inscriptions, that it was a shameful act performed by Chandragupta II, that to cover this up, they came up with propaganda, a play called Devi Chandraguptam, which painted Ramagupta as the bad person and Chandragupta II as the hero and justified the killing of his brother. So Chandragupta II continued to then become a mighty king. This is an archer type coin issued by Chandragupta II. In the back, it shows Lakshmi seated on a lotus now, because by 383 AD, we have now got the design transformed from a standing Lakshmi. This book details all of those little details. What was happening? Who was killing whom? How did this three people fight for the throne? And finally, one person captured it. It is our India's Game of Thrones. It is the Game of Thrones 1600 years back, and captured on these gold coins, and for the first time documented in this book, Treasures of the Gupta Empire. Chandragupta II's ascent to the throne was a mystery. If you read 6 different history books, it would have 6 different things. Professor Thapiyal, his book, The Imperial Guptas, one of the best books on Gupta dynasty. Definitely a must read for every history student. But these are little facts that coins help us establish the dates. Inscriptions help us establish the dates. This is a coin that is actually, you see in Terminal 3 of Delhi Airport. The front of the coin, obverse, is a big bronze plaque on the wall of that airport. This is Chandragupta II standing in a battle with a chhatra above him, a small person holding a chhatra over him, surveying the battle scene. And on the back, right, we see Goddess Lakshmi, but she is, and the Brahmi script there says Vikramaditya. This is the original Vikramaditya. What was the battle? What was he surveying? This was a battle to capture the lands controlled by the Western Kshatraps. They controlled the ports on the west coast, because the trade with Rome only happened through those ports. We had to ship through those ports up the Red Sea, port of Bernaki in Egypt, from land over there to the Roman Empire. And then from the Roman Empire, we got gold coins coming back to India, which were in payment for the spices and all the other things that were sent there. Now, how do we know this battle with the Kshatraps was taking place? Because we have a lead coin here. The back of the coin shows the design of the Kshatrapas, but in the front of the coin, instead of Kshatrapa design, it has a Garud, the royal symbol of the Guptas. And underneath, on the back, the last line is the date in Brahmi. And this date translates to, in Shah. We have similar dates on silver coins. This is Chandragupta II riding into battle. He's holding a bow, right? This is Chandragupta II with his queen. This is a king and queen type. This is the silver coin I was referring to. Now, silver coins of this were the main currency in Gujarat. When Chandragupta II captured parts of this region, he basically replaced, basically just added his name to the inscription, added a Garud in there, and in the back of the head, you can see the date. So we can date these coins, and we can know when was the siege of Gujarat and Western Kshatraps happening, and how long did it last. This is a coin of Kumargupta II, the Apratiga type. This shows the coronation of a young prince coming to power. Now, this is very interesting. Kumargupta I, not Kumargupta II. Kumargupta I coming to power, his father and mother are basically blessing him, and he's becoming the king as a prince. He's shown as a prince here, right? Now, pay attention, because this is a gold coin and we don't have a date on it. But on silver coins of Kumargupta I, we see dates as early as 409 and 407 AD. And the last known of inscription of Chandragupta II is much later. That means concurrently they were sharing power and ruling at the same time, both issuing coins at the same time. These are facts that help us correct our history. This is Kumargupta I riding into battle with the mighty elephants. You know, our elephants, Indian elephants, were feared. And on the back, well, that's a big explanation, I'll wait. This is a Kumargupta I Kartikeya type, Lord Kartikeya on the back, right? Beautiful, beautiful designs, rivals the Greek and Roman designs. Look at the artistry, and the entire coin is this big. Now just imagine the skill it took at the height of their power to make this design. This is Kumargupta I killing a rhinoceros. Where are the rhinoceros found? They're not found in Gujarat. They're found in the northern regions and the eastern regions. So this shows us that his kingdom, his empire, continued to expand northwards and eastwards. That's what this coin is portraying to us. Now, this is a very important coin. This is issued by Skandgupta. And the reason I put it here in the presentation is to show you that this coin was about, this shows a king and queen type. But the king and queen type is not a queen standing there. It is his lady is the Lakshmi. How do we know it's the Lakshmi? Because she's got a lotus flower in her left hand, and she's facing the king. Now we have Junagadh rock inscription, which actually says that he's taking the power as the king, Skandgupta says, by the blessings of Lakshmi. And this coin actually records that. This is a coin that changes history. First time published. In front of his nose and mouth, you see a Brahmi date. It shows a date of Gupta era 149, which is AD 468. You know, these are important discoveries. Buddhagupta, right? Very famous king. Huna king. He attacked India around 580, and after he had taken over the land, basically gave himself a Gupta sounding name, Prakashaditya, when in fact it was Tormana. How do we know that? Look at the elongated head. That was the Sasanian style of, you know, elongated heads. And their portraiture of a horseman killing a lion. It's a very typical design. But what's next is the seal. When I first showed this seal to Professor Tapyal, he had to sit down. He was so excited. This changes India's history. It's the first royal seal with two names on it. Yashodharman, Shri Yashodharman Torman. It shows, it's a crystal seal in negative and in positive impression. It shows the Vishnu Chakra, Agni Kund, and then Alkan Hans Tamga. This shows that, and Professor Thapiyal gets credit for it, he's the one who pointed it out, that after Prakashadharman defeated Tormana, he was allowed to serve as a vassal king. Under Yashodharman, he continued to serve. So these are very important coins and, you know, facts. So I'll keep this short. I know I'm getting a little long, but, you know, when great scholars like Chabra, P.L. Gupta, Altekar, Professor Thapiyal tried to work on the history of Gupta dynasty, you know, they were limited to very, very small images. What this book now does is provide a full documentation of all the coins of the Gupta Empire, all the inscriptions, everything for the researchers to study and appreciate and enjoy. It is really a very big task, but it has been done for the first time after 1957. And this second book, this book includes every known coin has been in there. It is absolutely a fascinating piece of work. Even I'm impressed, and I'm the one who wrote it. But really, as a researcher, when I look back at some of the chapters I wrote a year back, 2 years back, I'm like, wow, this is really good stuff. You know, Prime Minister Modi ji invited me when the first book came out to his house, and he asked me a question. He said, how were you able to do this research sitting in India? And I wasn't prepared for this question, in fact. Huh? I'm sitting in US, sorry. Yes, my wife's correcting me. Thank you. Yes. So basically, it was a lot of work, a lot of time, and we have now we're seeing the fruits of it. Okay, quickly moving on. I'm going way over my allotted time. There is a lot of things in this book, from the scientific study, the X-ray fluorescence study, the effects of the Justinian plague, basically wiping out most of central India, which led to a Gupta dynasty basically just dying off. This is groundbreaking stuff in this book. And it is definitely something that a casual reader who tries to go through the book will really, really enjoy. I'm super proud of it, and I hope you all enjoy reading it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for presenting the magnificent overview of the book. It truly was fascinating. Ladies and gentlemen, now we have arrived at the moment we've all been waiting for, the official launch of Treasures of the Gupta Empire. I request our distinguished guests to please come forward and unveil the book. Thank you for that momentous unveiling. I now invite Professor K.K. Thapliyal, Professor Emeritus, Lucknow University, to address the gathering and share his insights with us. Professor K.K. Thapliyal, we look forward to your address, sir.
Namaskar to all on the dais and in front of me. Well, I've always been thinking it is not my choice when to speak. Sanjeev Kumar ji has already spoken about the book and given you audio visual, that type of pleasure that you have. Well, then I must say first, I must congratulate him. I must congratulate also the people of the Indira Gandhi National Center for the Arts for giving this venue, and the authorities. Anyway, the most important part of it is we know that after the first catalogue that we had on the Gupta coins was that of, say, Allen, and that is in 1914. And it gave us all details about the Gupta coins in the British Museum. But he was a great scholar. He's also referred to the Gupta coins in other collections, the access to it he had. Then after that, that classic work of Altikar, the Gupta Empire, the coinage of the Gupta Empire, it was actually in a series, volume 5th of the corpus on coins. And he also wrote another work that on Bayana Hoard. And then came 3 more catalogues, but not so important because they were of regional character. One was from B.N. Mukherjee, that was for the Indian Museum, Calcutta. Then another one from Chhabra for this National Museum, and another was P.L. Gupta and Srivastava for the Bharat Kala Bhavan. Now, it is this particular work of Sri Sanjeev Kumar ji is most comprehensive, is most up to date, is most illustrated, and supersedes all these three combined. All earlier catalogs had what we have illustrations in black and white. But Sanjeev Kumarji's really the golden age, the gold is reflected there. And the coins are so realistic, as printed, that if I take out the obverse part of it and the river part and join them together and hold it like that, somebody is going to take it for the real coin. Well, I must say, because actually when we take the things, it is, if I see the coin, let me tell you, I'll understand better when I see in the book. Because in the habit, we are in the habit of seeing everything in the book. The reflection is itself more important for us. Anyway, well, then we have already, he has seen the type, the museums, the almost all over the world, important museums he's consulted in India and abroad. And private collection, that is much more important, because museums you can go, but it's very difficult even to know where the coins are in private collections. So he has studied them all, he has photographed them, he has printed them. The weight is that we hold it, the weight is in gold. We will see that the paper is glossy, and the photographs emerge as if they are three-dimensional. Well, I feel that it's going to provide a very basically the platform for the further study, for the research, and I feel that the coin collectors, some of whom know more than we professors know in the university. I've had occasion to see some coin collectors, to see lot of time seeing for magnifying glass, but he could know all the details about the things, minute details. Now, numismatics in itself is a science. If you just read an inscription, there is written there, Maharaj Sri Gupta, his son was Maharaj Ghatrotkach, his son was Chandragupta first, his son. That you have written, you have nothing to bother about it. It is written there, you know it. But numismatics is science, you have to ask it. Tell me, what is your metal, your shape, your size? Well, what is your weight? And then what devices you have, what legend? And then we have to say, well, ultimately, where have you been found? In how many numbers they've been found, and so on and so forth. So that's, in numismatics you see, if you, metrology for example, and he has, up till now we all know the weight in grains. But internationally it is now a custom to put the weight in grams. And he has done that. Well, I'm not going to follow. It's very difficult to remember. Well, this grams, but then it has to be appreciated. The new generation has to pick it up. Now, for example, the total is, we have got metrology in the sense, if you take the total Gupta coins and study the metrology, you'll find there is a trend from about 120 or so, which is the Kushana type of the metrology, and then gradually with each king the weight increases. By the time of Skandgupta, it has almost come to the Swarn standard of 146.4. But it doesn't stop there. On the coins of Vishnugupta, we have got more than 150 grains. So that is one tendency. When you study in totality, then you find that there is some trend. It has something you could learn, that why it was happening. Secondly, when you study the metal, you find that the earliest coins are pure. Relatively speaking, the quantity of alloy in them is very little. As you gradually proceed further, with each king, the alloy is added. And by the time, Vishnugupta, it has increased immensely. So you do not know. There are so many kings, After all, he has created a problem for the future students. He says that after Skandgupta, there are 15 kings who ruled. We are very happy. We had very few only when we were students. So anyway, 15 kings after, and then The more the merrier. We have got one Samudragupta, second Samudragupta, we had Chandragupta, second Chandragupta. Of course, that is known, first and second. But third from numismatics, fourth from numismatic, and you say Chandragupta fourth. Well, we'll say that since he has given the basic thing for you, that is the photographs of the coins, each one of us have got the liberty and the occasion to study ourselves and see how far we agree with him and how far we do not agree with him. Now, for example, well, one thing that is for the first time I feel, and I have no hesitation to say, that as far as the Apradiki type of coin of Kumaragupta, that's, 15 interpretations have been made. What is this Apradiki? 15 interpretations have been made. But one thing, as the coins have got, it is a science in itself. Epigraphy and paleography is a science in itself. So also a sculpture. In a sculpture we had a tradition that a man of importance will always be shown taller than the other people. I was simply surprised that this particular thing was neglected while these 15 different type of interpretation of this coin was made. Now why? The central figure is shorter than the two. The central figure is flanked by one side by a lady, other side by a male. Now, how can the king be shown smaller? So the central figure cannot be smaller. Other figures you identify whatever you like. Now, this is for the first time he has interpreted to my liking, is that here is the mother, here is the father, and both are anointing. He is not mentioned here, but he is mentioned elsewhere that, well, in a Buddhist work, we find a reference that Kumaragupta, when he became old, he anointed his son Skandagupta and retired to religious life. Now that suits very well, this one, because at least, in a sculpture we have put throughout, you see, from Bharhut, Sanchi and onwards, we have got, after all, we have got something, some rules and regulations. A king cannot be shown smaller than a general. So that's what that particular, well, as far as Kacha and Ramgupta, that particular point that he has pointed here, this has been a problem. Well, the Devi Chandraguptam, of which the first time Silvan Levy, he pointed out that in Natya Darpan of Gunachandra and Ramchandra, we have got, say, references to the 6 references to King Ramgupta. Now, anyway, the point here is Ramgupta was identified long by Smith with Ram, say this Kachagupta Ramgupta. But the problem was, for the first time he sees on the same coin, that is a copper coin, that we have on one side Kache and other side Ramgupta. But this can be interpreted otherwise. He is of the opinion that Ramgupta was his original name and Kache is a later name adopted when he became king. Am I correct? Now, that's one. My point is, Kach is not a very good name. Somehow, I don't find when there are Samudragupta, Chandragupta, Kumaragupta, Kach. It's not at all interesting about it. But nevertheless, Kach was there. I mean, we have got 2 Ajanta inscriptions where we find the name Kach. So it means that it was not very pleasant to look, but at the same time it was there. Other people were also given, it is not the only Kach. The point is, in Vidisha, the 3 inscriptions that have been found, where it is mentioned Maharaja Tiraj Ramgupta, but if he had adopted Kach as a name after becoming king, then here is in Maharaja Dhiraj and the name is Ramgupta. Secondly, we don't have a tradition of the 2 names of the same king on one coin. Well, I must say that his interpretation much better than many other interpretations. That is another matter. But I'll say, because after all, one thing is there that both the names are there. It can be interpreted like that. Perfectly all right. But what Bhandarkar's interpretation about Ramgupta? He says Kach in Gupta script. ka comes like this. If you don't put the horizontal line in between, or it is somehow the other, you miss it, it becomes ra. And cha is, if you put like that slightly, after all, he is of the opinion that his name was Kach. But in literature, the person who was copying it and giving it a name in literature, he mistook it and actually wrote it as Ram. And so Ram Gupta has become famous. Yeah. But anyway, this is, one thing is very certain. We people have been taught, Gordon Childe said, that each of our sentences will start, so far as the evidence goes, it favors the view that. Meaning thereby first we have to see what is going to be found tomorrow, we do not know. In the third edition, Sanjeev Kumarji is going to change many things. And I am going to speak again if I leave by the time. Anyway, so the time, the energy, and the resources that have gone in the making of this book really impresses. Well, we feel that a person, his father and mother handed over their collection to him. As a young boy, he developed a taste, and as he says that for 4 hours it was 18 years a day. Well, I have never worked that way. I can tell you, and could never be. But anyway, well, I know that many other people have to speak. Well, one thing again is, he has brought in for the first time Purugupta's silver coin. Now, Purugupta is one person, unfortunate king, who for a long time was in Purugupta, Vikramaditya, and suddenly S.K. Saraswati one day wrote that what is read as Puru is actually Buddha. And Puru, in limbo, he went, forever gone, Purugupta. No Purugupta. And then he brings for the first time again. So there is life after death. I'm pretty sure. And Purugupta is once again revived. Another great contribution that I find is, he is not mentioned, I do not know why you forgot to mention, that is a seal of Maharaj Sri Gupta, isn't it? Now that seal is very important. Well, up till now there were certain sealings, by sealings I mean impression of the seal. So a few impression of seal, Sri Guptasya. But then when there is no title, and it is not in gold, not in silver, it is the impression on a clay. So anybody could be Sri Gupta, or that king could be Sri Gupta. This is all, we can't be sure about it. But the seal clearly says Maharaja Sri Gupta. There is no doubt about it. And then third, one important thing is that he has also shown a coin of Sri Gupta, and that is what is important. It has the device is the head of the same type his head is that the Western Kshatrap kings have got on their coins. Now this is interesting. Sri Gupta could issue coins. Normally we feel it is a privilege of an independent king. And here also he has something to say. He says Sri Gupta might have been independent. At that time, Ashoka was the greatest king of ancient India, yet his title was Raja. Kharmil was only king of Kalinga, his title was Maharaj. By the time of the Guptas, Maharaj has become the title of a feudatory, and it is Maharaja Dhiraj who is an independent king. Well, Sri Gupta was an independent king, is not a very debatable thing. Anyway, I'm pretty sure I must know, sir, I've got a bad habit. That was that teacher, being a teacher, 45 minutes, I've got the habit of at least delivering a lecture for 45 minutes, but then I have to take it. Anyway, thank you very much for inviting me to come here and to talk to you for something. Thank you for listening me patiently. And once again, congratulating Sanjeev Kumarji for his magnificent work. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Thaplial. Next, we have Dr. Sanjay Kumar Manjul, Additional Director General at Archaeological Survey of India. Sir, please share your insights with us.
Very good evening. Dignitaries on dais, my teacher, my mentors are here. And also in audience in front of me, some of my teachers and mentors are also sitting in audience. It's difficult to me to speak before Thaplial sir. And also the author of this book, Sanjeev Kumar, has elaborated almost all the side of the coins also. So it's really difficult for me. But yes, this book actually brought many new things which I have just gone through a little bit, like the XRF detail of all the metrological analysis, and also some of the fake coins included in this book. That is a very new one. Very few books I have seen the details of fake coins, and maybe some contemporary fake also. That's a very, very interesting subject of understanding of coin. Not only the description and cataloging of coin, but their descriptive way of understanding of the history, art, and iconography, and many other things. After seeing this book, and then beautiful photograph, very detailed photographs come in my mind to further understand the seal and sealings of particular time period of Gupta dynasty. So there is a lot of seal and sealings available in museums and excavated site also, which is very, very authentic one. So yes, in future, I think author Sanjeev Kumar may go beyond the coin also to study seal and sealing and compare with the coins. That will be a great, maybe the third volume. Thaplial sir mentioned almost all the details of the dynasties and all that. Another thing comes in my mind, that the iconography, particularly in a lot of terracottas, and some of the sculptures also having very similar depiction which we have seen in either in the Samudragupta coin or any other coin. The similar kind of similar anatomy, similar things in coins and terracotta also. Being an archaeologist, I try to understand in holistic way of the golden era or golden period of Gupta dynasty. I really feel very proud that I'm in this August gathering, and just listening our teachers again after a long time. When I was in Institute of Archaeology and other workshops also. After a long time, Thaplial sir is here, and Handa sir is also in the audience. Both are a great scholar of coins. They taught us many times. Thank you very much for calling me in this occasion, auspicious occasion. And the book is really fantastic, having many things which has not been illustrated or not been mentioned in many of the other books. It's really updated, and hope this will help a lot of scholars to do not only the study of coin, but a study of the entire history of Gupta dynasty, and also the comparative study, the before of Kushana and later Gupta period also. And apart from that, the Gupta history, and that will help for the excavator to understand the many other remains of Gupta period with the help of coin and with the help of hidden mysteries or hidden facts that is there in the coin. So thank you very much. I am not take much time. Thank you. I must congratulate Sanjeev Kumar ji for this beautiful book and very, very informative book, having a lot of information in this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We now welcome Dr. Prashant Kulkarni, Chairman of the Indian Coin Society and Honorable Fellow at Oriental Numismatic Society, UK. Sir, we look forward to your address.
Good afternoon, everybody. Dr. Sachidananda Joshi in the chair, Professor Thapliyal, Sanjeev, my great friend, and Sanjay Kumar Munjalji, and Dr. B.R. Mani, and all the dignitaries in front of me. I really thank Sanjeev for giving me this opportunity to talk here. I have seen his first book, which he produced in 2017, and that was well-acclaimed book when Joe Cribb from British Museum wrote that it's much better than Ellen Raven's book. So we used to think that Ellen Raven's books was like the Gita, like the big thing. Nothing bigger can be made. But now this second volume he made in 7 years, just 7 years. That is an impossibility because I am also writing books. I have written a book on Godavari coins and I took 10 years. So to do something like that in 7 years, when you have a wife and 3 kids, it's very difficult. Yeah, but he has done this incredible task. And he started the video, the presentation with Vishnu Sahasranama. So that's like the My Bharat. He is using the word Bharat, I observed that. So that was India. And that's portrayed to the classical age of the Gupta coins. So when the main book on Gupta coinage was made by Professor Altekar, we thought that nothing more can be done. He made it in 1957, I think. Yeah, we thought nothing more can be added. I did research on many coins. I used to think if I had to write something on Guptas, it's very difficult. I had to write on, I must select Satavahanas or the Pallavas or something else. But Gupta, it's very difficult. But Sanjeev made it very easy with his book. Now all the pictures are there and the pictures are in color. As Professor Thapliyal has said, the pictures are in color. But that, just having pictures in color is not everything. The interpretations are more important. What I found in Sanjeev's book is and in his earlier writings, that the most striking discovery to me was the naming the weapon in the hand of the king as the javelin. And he really literally invented the javelin type. Nobody has done it till now. Everybody was calling that type as standard type. उसको राजदंड बोलते थे सब लोग, राजदंड है, but that was a javelin, a bhala. And that was, when he wrote that paper, I was wonderstruck. I was like, oh my God, this is a revelation to me. Then in this book, he has quantified the known Gupta coins. He gives exact numbers like 4,874 coins of Chandragupta II are known, or Kumar Gupta are known, or so many thousand coins of such rulers are known. No, we never thought about it, that how many coins of which ruler are known, how much is the gold content. This is the first book I find that the gold content of every single coin is given. So he has not left any stone unturned. If anybody says that have you put the diacritical marks on in your book? Yes, he has done it very well. Have you put the gold contents? Yes, he has done it very well. Have you put all pictures in color and actual size? Yes, he has done it. So he has not left any stone unturned. Even the silver coins of the Guptas found in Western India, everyone has been XRF tested and its silver content is given. And I was very surprised to find that most of the coins had 1% or 2% gold also in it. So that I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't know that. So all these new revelations are coming up, all new and new things. So it's not simple to make a 562, how many pages is that? 604 page book with an index and a bibliography and a list of pictures and abbreviations and footnotes. I mean, oh my God, he deserves a round of applause. Yeah. So, in old days, I used to see, when I was learning, when I was 25 years old, I used to see that the professors were bringing a small book and they were being awarded a D.Litt for that. So, for doing a PhD, it was very difficult. You got to register and you have to work for 10 years and you have to have a guide and you have to submit your thesis and you have to defend it and you do a lot of things. But to get a D.Litt, you have to just submit a book, a well-written book, and you can get a D.Litt. So I remember Professor Ajay Mitra Shastri, most of us here remember him as a great scholar, and he wrote a book on Kuttanimata of Damodar Gupta. And in 1 month, he was awarded the D.Litt by Nagpur University. So some university should take cognizance of this book and award D.Litt to Sanjeev Kumar. Yeah. He must be given. Or I would say, why not a Padma Shri? We should all lobby for that to get him a Padma Shri. Because nobody in numismatics has got a Padma Shri. They get Padma Shri in all things. They sing a song and get Padma Shri. Yeah. So Sanjeev deserves all this. So he has also mentioned the Gupta lineage. He has mentioned gold contents ruler-wise. That was very difficult to find. See, it is easy to mention weights of coins by ruler. And we know that the weights were increasing. But as the weights were increasing, with his chart, we know that the gold content was decreasing. So the coins were same. So the theory that the gold contents were decreasing and markets were going down and the classical age was falling, that theory is wrong. That's proved by Sanjeev, because he thinks that sometimes when the gold content was very low, it was due to some disaster, some plague or something, or some wars. And otherwise the gold content was same. This could have been found only by XRF analysis. And he has spent lots of years on that, doing that. It's lots of years. And he already mentioned in his lecture that the image of Lakshmi, that got codified in 383 AD when it came on the coin of Chandragupta II. So that's a striking discovery to me. The only other man who got Lakshmi to our life was Raja Ravi Verma, who got the real picture of it. Yeah. So great people are alike, and Sanjeev is one of them, and the people on the stage are the great ones, and everyone here is senior to me. So I thank you very much, and thanks for giving me this opportunity to talk about this wonderful book. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kulkarni. It is now my privilege to invite our guest of honor, Dr. B.R. Mani, Director General of National Museum. Sir, please share your remarks and address the gathering.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Dignitaries on dais and sitting in front of me. First of all, I must mention I am thankful to the IGNCA and to Joshi ji as well as Ramesh ji for inviting me for the launch of the book Treasures of the Gupta Empire by my friend Sanjeev Kumar ji. I first met him in a conference which was organized by Mr. Prashant Kulkarni ji in Nagpur. And since then, we had been corresponding with each other. I met him in Chicago also. We met him in Delhi. His first book, the first edition of this book, was launched in National Museum, and he had asked me to write a foreword of it. So there were two forewords, one by me, one by Joe Cribb. Now the thing is that he is not just writing on Gupta coins or making a catalogue of the Gupta coins. The part 2 of the book has got the catalogue. But he has been discussing about the art, about the situations prevailing in those times, in the 4th, 5th century AD, the history, and many other things. How the Guptas unified the country and controlled the most of the parts of the country beyond the present day boundaries, and they brought prosperity to the nation. In many areas, in scientific, literary, artistic, and many other areas, and how this manifestation made the period as golden age of Indian history. As already mentioned, Allen and then Altekar and others, they have worked on Gupta coins. In National Museum, we have the pieces of Gupta gold coins. But now we have in this particular book all the known types with proper illustrations. Whether they are available in Indian museums or museums abroad or in private collections. So it's a meticulous job which he has carried out. The design, art, metrology, metallurgy, and not only that, he has discussed about the XRF analysis, the new types he has added from different collections which were not known. I was very much interested in the Huna coins also, and in the particular seal which mentions the joint rule of the Huna Tormad. So it has become definitely a reference book for future generation, for the researchers, and I am quite hopeful that with the use of updated dates which he has noticed on some of the coins, in the silver coins, he has given new maps from the first edition and now changed into the second edition, and hundreds of coins have been added. The silver coins with dates, and I was very much fascinated to see that the Torman's eel with Yashodharman, that is mentioned there. The new evidence of dates of Ghatotkach, Skandagupta, Buddhagupta, they are there. And more interestingly, a coin of silver coin of Purugupta, that is also available, which was never, nobody had known about that. So this great collection of coins speaks about the history and art of the period as well, and it would be definitely helpful to the researchers for doing research in the classical art, in numismatics, and scientific analysis of the coins, as well as it would be useful for anybody, any layman, to know about the rich heritage of India. And that is how he has given the name Treasures of the Gupta Empire. So it's a rich heritage of the country which he has brought to light. So we are all very much thankful to Sanjeev Kumar ji, and with these words I would like to close my talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your enlightening words. Finally, I request our chair of the evening, Dr. Sachinand Joshi, Member Secretary of IGNCA, to deliver his address.
Namaskar and good evening. Most respected Professor K.K. Thapaliar, Dr. B.R. Mani, Shri Dr. Prashant Kulkarni, Dr. Sanjay Kumar Manjul, my colleague Professor Ramesh Chandra Gaur, and the showstopper of today, Sanjeev Kumar ji. Distinguished audience, I must congratulate Sanjeev Kumar ji for this great work, and the entire credit goes to the lady sitting here in the audience who allowed him to continue this work for 7 years. In Bharatiya tradition, we have stories of great women who have supported their husband to do this kind of a monumental work. We all know the story of Bhamti and Vachaspati Mishra, where Bhamti dedicated her life and did not disturb her husband in his pursuit of knowledge. So Vachaspati Mishra titled the work which he was doing as Bhamti Tika, just to give honor to the lady. So next book you should dedicate to her and write her name on the book. It's very interesting that in the era of plastic money and digital economy, we are talking about coins. I don't know in the audience how many of you really have coins in your purse. You can just find out. I don't think there would be many who would have coins in their purse today. But still we are talking about coins. So they have the relevance and importance in our life as far as the understanding of history is concerned. Especially the younger generation do not at all believe in any kind of currency, and they always do the online payment and digital currencies. So in this era, if you ask a youngster which are the coins which the government is producing as far as the currency, I don't know many of them would be in a position to even respond. Why I am raising this pertaining question is that there is a dearth to study this science that is known as numismatics. I was just asking Professor Thapliyal how many courses we have of numismatics in different universities. They only teach 1 or 2 papers in some of the master's courses, but many universities even do not have the papers of numismatics, and it is unfortunate. By the way, I would like to point out here that Indira Gandhi National Center for the Arts brought out a volume, Numismatic Arts of India, edited by erudite scholar Professor Bratindranath Mukherjee in the year 2007. The first volume deals with the numismatic art of India up to the era CE 135. The modern age of Indian coinage commenced in about this year. This volume contains a comprehensive history of art in Indian coins during the early and the medieval period. The second volume contains an album of the masterpieces of Indian coins. So anybody who is really interested to also learn about coinages can always procure this book from this. But what this book is of have significance of the treasures of Gupta Empire. So this has a historical significance. You see, it also gives us an insight about the historical happenings of the Gupta periods, and also keeps the Indian history in proper chronology, which is very important. I know many important historians of their era in this era are sitting either on the dais or in the auditorium, and they would also agree to the fact that we have failed to really properly record the chronology of Indian history, and that is why there are many problems in recording the historical incidences of the past. So when you study the coinages, you definitely understand the lineages and the chronology of Indian history, and maybe it will help in keeping the things in the proper shape. This also gives you an insight to study about the design element of the coins. As you rightly elaborated in your presentations, there are different designs and there are different motifs on the coins, like Garuda and like the Lakshmi. And they also give you the representation of the evolving society and the contemporary trend of the civilization of that time. Very interestingly, IGNCO also has a very beautiful photograph collection of Raja Deen Dayal, who is supposed to be the pioneering photographer of the modern era. So when you study those photographs, you also study the costumes and the jewelry and the attire and the drapery and the tapestry of that time. So when you study coins and their motifs in particular, you also get a feel to understand the designs prevailing to that particular era, and through that you also understand what kind of civilization was progressed at that time. Third thing, which is more important, is the study of the iconography. As Professor Thapliyal has very rightly underlined, that how can you identify a king, how can you identify their significance and the posture in the way they have been depicted on a particular coin. By the way, let me also say that there is a dearth of scholars who can study the iconography of different Indian temples. IGNCA has been blessed that we had the eminent iconographist coming to our institutions from time to time, like Dr. Nagaswamy, and he was ready to even teach the youngsters the basic nuances of iconography. Even at the age of 85, 86, he was so young, he used to say that I can even teach for 18 hours a day just to sort of create awareness related to iconography. But there are very few who really understand the basic nuances of iconography. So Sanjeev Kumar's book gives you a deep insight to study the iconography. And next important thing is the development of trade and economy, which is very important, and how it has progressed. And as Prashantji has very rightly underlined, that even the weight of the coin also gives you a relative significance of the developing economy at that time. Very few people understand the size and the weight of the coin is related to the kind of economy which is progressing. But as you have mentioned in your book, it is a very interesting study, and that gives you a detailed insight how the economy has transformed or developed during that time. Very interestingly, by the way, in our coinages also, a 5 rupee coin is of a smaller size as compared to the 1 rupee coin. I don't know how many of you have noticed, but you can only differentiate that by the weight of the coin. So that's very interesting. But to give the detailed analysis of that period is something which only a person who has deeply immersed into the subject can do, and I think Sanjeev Kumar ji has done that job quite fantastically. Although when I was listening to his lecture, I was also realizing that he himself was over mesmerized by his work. That's the beauty of the presentation. So rather than waiting for us to sort of give him a kind of an appreciation, he appreciated his work himself. That's the beauty of his deep involvement with the work. And I must congratulate you for that kind of a courage. Very few people have that kind of courage to speak that from a podium like this. Anyway, next thing which is more important is that it also gives an insight to the young historians to study their approach about the relativity of the history, which is very important. I'm very sorry to say the study of history has become too much stereotype and predictable. Very, very few young historians really apply their mind to do something out of the box and study something which is not really covered in their regular academic curriculum. Persons like Sanjeev Kumar really inspire them to sort of go out of the box and run extra mile to really bring out something which has never been explored or which has never been explored until now. I'm sure that this book is going to create roars in the arena of history, not only in India, but throughout the globe, because it is again setting the context with a new dimension, and definitely people will talk about it. There would be some criticisms, of course, but I know Sanjeev Kumar ji is brave enough to face those kind of a criticism. So we all must applaud him and back him for his courageous work and congratulate him that at least there is some person who has the courage to put the things in the right perspective. Congratulations and thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words. As we come to the close of this momentous occasion, it is my privilege to propose the vote of thanks. First and foremost, I extend our deepest gratitude to the esteemed author, Dr. Sanjeev Kumar. Your book, Treasures of the Gupta Empire, is not just a testament to your scholarly acumen, but also a significant contribution to our understanding of this golden period in Indian history. Thank you for choosing the IGNCA as the venue for your launch. We are immensely grateful to our chair, Dr. Sachidanand Joshi, for gracing this occasion. Our heartfelt thanks go to guest of honor, Dr. B.R. Mani, for his enlightening address and for lending his expertise to this discussion. We extend a sincere thanks to Professor K.K. Thapliyal, Dr. Sanjay Kumar Manjul, and Dr. Prashant Kulkarni for their thought-provoking addresses. Your perspectives have enriched our understanding of the book and its context. I would like to acknowledge the efforts of the organizing team, without whom this event would not have been possible. A special thanks to the Media Center, the Publication Unit, Staff and Service Division, and the Sutradhar Division. A big thank you to all the attendees. Your presence and enthusiasm made this launch truly special. Thank you. We now invite you to join us for tea. Thank you all. Have a wonderful evening.